before the first cities rose, before the world began recording itself. Civilizations thrived and vanished, and all they left behind were fragments, relics, that whisper of knowledge, technology, and achievements far beyond what we once believed possible. Among these relics are artifacts so mysterious, so out of place, that they challenge the very story of humanity's past. Today, we journey deep into forgotten worlds to uncover 5 ancient artifacts that should not exist, yet undeniably do. First, we travel to the cradle of civilization, to the land of the Sumerians. It begins with a simple clay tablet, covered in neat rows of cuneiform script. But behind these symbols lies a mystery that has baffled scholars for more than a century. This is the Sumerian King List, a document from ancient Mesopotamia, cataloguing rulers who reigned long before recorded history. But the list does not describe ordinary kings. According to this ancient text, some of these primordial rulers reigned for hundreds, even thousands of years, after the kingship descended from heaven. The text reads, "The kings ruled for 28,800 years. Subsequent rulers are listed with reigns lasting for centuries, numbers that defy all logic and human biology." Were the Sumerians simply preserving myths, their earliest oral traditions finally committed to clay, or were they encoding complex astronomical cycles, using the reigns of kings as a metaphor for the movements of the stars? Perhaps they were preserving the memories of a forgotten era, a time of gods or godlike beings, whose stories became distorted through countless generations of storytelling, their true nature lost to the sands of time. The Sumerian King List feels like a doorway to a world erased by time, a world whose history is written in numbers that defy belief. It's a genealogical record that stretches back into a mythical past, blending verifiable historical kings with figures of impossible longevity. To this day, we cannot fully explain its purpose or the truth behind its incredible claims. Next, we journey to the Age of Discovery, but the artifact we find there seems to belong to a much older, more advanced era. In 1513, an Ottoman admiral and cartographer named Piri Reis created a map unlike any other of its time, drawn on a section of gazelle skin parchment. It shows parts of Europe, North Africa, and the coast of South America with extraordinary and unsettling accuracy for the period. But the true mystery lies far to the south, where the map appears to outline the northern coastline of Antarctica. This would be impressive enough, considering the continent of Antarctica was not officially discovered by explorers until 3 centuries later, in 1820. But what shocks researchers most is that Piri Reis Map seems to show the coastline of Queen Maud Land without its massive ice sheet, the way it would have looked thousands, if not millions, of years ago, before it was buried under miles of ice. How could a Renaissance-era mapmaker know something that was impossible for his time? How could a Renaissance-era mapmaker know something that was impossible for his time? Piri Reis himself provided a clue in his inscriptions on the map. He claimed he based his chart on a compilation of older sources, including ancient maps from the time of Alexander the Great, sources so old that even he didn't know where they originated. If that is true, then the knowledge behind this map predates not only Piri Reis, but the great civilizations we know. It hints at the existence of a forgotten seafaring culture, a civilization capable of charting coastlines across the globe with breathtaking, almost modern, precision. A people who were lost long before history began keeping records. From the age of sail, we travel to the dense, tropical jungles of Central America. Hidden in the Diquís Delta of Costa Rica are hundreds of enormous stone spheres, some small enough to cradle in your hands, others towering over 6 feet tall and weighing more than 15 tons. Many are carved with such perfect, almost impossible, precision that even today, with our advanced modern tools, replicating their flawless spherical shape would be an immense challenge. Yet the people who made them, a pre-Columbian culture that flourished between 700 and 1530 AD, left no written language, no blueprints, and no surviving stories that explained their purpose. When European settlers arrived, the knowledge of who built the spheres, and more importantly, why, had already vanished into the mists of time. Were they status symbols, markers of power for tribal chiefs? Were they sophisticated astronomical tools, aligned with the stars to track celestial events? Or were they symbolic guardians of ancient settlements, their silent, perfect forms warding off spirits or enemies? Perhaps they were something even more enigmatic, the last enigmatic clues of a sophisticated culture erased from the world before it could ever be truly understood. The stone spheres of Costa Rica stand silent and flawless, scattered like mysterious breadcrumbs through the jungle and across the forest floor, and their ultimate meaning remains a profound mystery, locked within their unyielding stone. Now we journey further back in time, to the heart of ancient Mesoamerica. Long before the Aztec and the Maya built their towering pyramids, an even older foundational civilization rose and fell in the tropical lowlands of south-central Mexico, the Olmecs. They are considered the mother culture of Mesoamerica, but they left behind almost no written records, and very few clues about who they were or what they believed. But they did leave something extraordinary: massive, monolithic heads, carved from colossal basalt boulders, each with astonishing detail and weighing up to 40 tons. Every one of the 17 confirmed heads is unique. They are not gods or myths. They are portraits of powerful rulers, celebrated warriors, or revered ancestors whose names and deeds the world has long forgotten. The mystery deepens when we consider the logistics. How did the Olmecs quarry and move such enormous stones for distances of up to 90 miles through harsh, swampy terrain without the use of wheels, metal tools, or draft animals? How did they carve them with such realism and individual personality, using only primitive stone implements? And why did their influential civilization disappear around 400 BC, leaving behind only these silent, stone giants as their legacy? The colossal heads feel like the last echoes of a powerful people who shaped the future of early American culture. Then, for reasons we may never know, slipped into complete and silent obscurity. Finally, we arrive at our last destination, a site so ancient it feels alien. High on a barren hill in southeastern Turkey lies Göbekli Tepe, a complex so ancient, so monumental, and so unexpected that its discovery in the 1990s has fundamentally rewritten the story of human history. Built around 9600 BC, Tepe predates Stonehenge by 6,000 years and the Great Pyramids of Giza by 7,500. It was constructed before the invention of writing, before the creation of pottery, and even before the dawn of agriculture. This was a time when humanity was thought to consist solely of small, nomadic hunter-gatherer bands. Yet these massive, T-shaped stone pillars weigh up to 20 tons each. They are arranged in deliberate, concentric circular formations and are decorated with intricate, stylized carvings of animals like snakes, foxes, and vultures, as well as abstract symbols and mysterious humanoid figures. According to everything we once believed about the Neolithic Revolution, a site like this should have been utterly impossible. Hunter-gatherers were not supposed to be capable of building temples. They were not supposed to organize labor on such a massive, communal scale. They were not supposed to carve stones with this level of artistry, symbolism, and profound intention. Göbekli Tepe suggests that our timeline was wrong. It implies that organized religion and complex social structures may have come first, and that civilization did not begin with farming. But that perhaps the need to feed the laborers who built this great temple is what possibly spurred invention of agriculture in the first place. It completely challenges the established timeline of human development and hints at a depth of knowledge, a system of beliefs, and a form of social organization far older and more sophisticated than history has ever recorded. These artifacts, the Sumerian King List, the Piri Reis Map, the Costa Rica stone spheres, the Olmec Colossal Heads, and the oldest temple on earth, at Göbekli Tepe, are more than just historical curiosities. They are profound reminders of how much has been forgotten, erased by the unforgiving forces of time, by cataclysmic disaster, and by the endless cycle of the rise and fall of ancient worlds. Every single artifact is a question mark burned into our timeline. Every mystery is a gaping hole in our understanding of ourselves, and each one reveals a truth we often overlook in our modern certainty. The past was deeper, stranger, and far more complex than we ever imagined. Which of these artifacts do you think hides the greatest secret? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, make sure to like, subscribe, and join me again as we continue exploring the mysteries of our ancient world.